Hello and welcome to the latest Creating Ripples podcast. 2019, what a challenging year. A year like no other, a year of consequences and of consequences to come. Life for consumers is about to change. But it really isn't about consumers. It's about our lives as citizens. For far too long, we've talked about consumers and consumer rights as if this category of human existence is separate from the bigger picture of citizenship. Consumer rights is simply an extension of our citizenship and the rights that are attached to that status. 2019 has already led to one real prediction about to come true, that deregulation is the clear and present danger to our citizen and consumer rights. Political, criminal and organisational failure has delivered the maelstrom to come. For a small number of citizens, they have experienced their own personal maelstrom, tragedy or difficulty with authority, often with devastating consequences. The nature of our world is such that whatever the issues that arise, no matter the geolocation of an incident or event, it is transcended by the commonality of a chemical exposure, pollution, corporate indifference, political impotence, and a legal passivity to an individual's or a collective citizen's rights. The 2020s are about to stress test to the extreme our encounters, our ability to rise above disaster, and our thirst for justice. Never has there been a moment in our society when we should be vigilant and recognise and support those who have, in many cases, have had to learn how to deal with extraordinary circumstances. Within this landscape there are, however, remarkable individuals who in some cases operate across borders to challenge and create a good regulatory platform for citizens. For several years, some of these campaigners or bodies have been identified by me as being exceptional citizen defenders, and as we have left 2019 behind, it is important to identify them and celebrate their work. So each of my personal recognitions is accompanied by the following citation. The recipient of this award is recognised as a citizen defender in 2019. Their work reveals a passion and a dedication to their cause. Their work is long and sometimes tedious, but they never lose sight of their ultimate goals, righting an injustice and making the world a better and safer place for their fellow citizens. At the heart of what they do lies compassion, kindness and patience. Their quiet dignity in the face of a political or commercial intransigence reveals the essence of their humanity. They are the voice of the weak in a political, commercial world. They are exceptional citizen defenders. And so I am therefore proud to announce my choice of citizen defenders for 2019. And I begin with Stephanie Trotter, OBE. Now, Stephanie is president of the Co-Gas Safety, a society formed and dedicated to highlighting the plight of victims and their families exposed to carbon monoxide. Stephanie has for many years been the voice at the heart of the political debate in Westminster and Europe. Her untiring advocacy, research and tenacity, challenging industry and politicians are an inspiration for all. My next choice is Avril and Gordon Samuels and Richard Haynes. Avril, her husband Gordon, and their son-in-law Richard are constant voices in support of their charity, the Katie Haynes Trust. This charity was created during a time of crisis for this family, when their daughter and wife died from carbon monoxide poisoning. This family's quiet dignity strengthens their objectives in promoting information about the scourge of carbon monoxide. They are a constant reminder to politicians and the commercial world of the continued need for action. My next choice is Nicole and Kai Bangola. The story of this couple is remarkable. Born out of a shocking story of flooding, a landscaped landfill, and released gases into homes, which led to the death of their beloved son Zane and the serious injury of Kai. Both Nicole and Kai have struggled through legal representation and opposition, counsel indifference, evidential blocks, a system not designed to deal with difficult questions and the truth. Nicole and Kai are just ordinary people finding themselves in extraordinary circumstances, unable to properly grieve, but determined no other family should suffer the same fate. Their quest for justice remains unquenched. My next choice is Judith Anderson. Now, Judith is an industrial hygienist based in Seattle in the United States. She is a powerful advocate for flight attendants, pilots and passengers against toxic fumes found on board bleed air commercial aircraft. She also advocates for those affected by toxic uniforms. Her powerful advocacy and determination against a male-dominated industry is made all the more remarkable by the skill set and strength of argument that she presents without fear or favour. Her work will stand as testimony to aviation safety in the years to come. My next choice is Ari Adriensen. Ari is based in Belgium and is a former airline pilot, having been retired due to suffering with the effects of exposure to fumes in the cockpit. Ari is a powerful voice for pilots and other aviation users. His attention to detail is legendary, and he provides a precise and methodological approach to the complex issues of cabin air quality. His multilingual skills helps him to cut across the divides, both with the aviation industry and aviation users. His work will also stand the test of time on the issue of cabin air quality, not just for pilots but for crew and passengers. My final choice is Susan Michaelis. Now, Susan is a former Australian commercial pilot, having been retired due to ill health following her exposure to fumes in the cockpit environment. She now resides in the UK. Susan is the proverbial dog with a bone, well-researched, widely written, and always prepared to argue for the rights of pilots, crew and passengers. Like her other colleagues, she holds no fear for politicians, civil servants and industry. Like Judith and Ari, her advocacy on cabin air quality will be remembered in the decades to come. I think it is important to remember that whilst we celebrate these citizen defenders, there are many more who provide a strong advocacy, fearlessly, often against direct or indirect threats, and we should never forget their work. I am proud to know these citizen defenders, but also the wider world of citizen advocates. In this troubled world, it is refreshing and empowering to be in the company of these very fine defenders. We need this courage and determination because they all help to contribute to positive change and improved processes and safety for all. My best wishes to each and every one of them. Until the next time, take care. Dim dim